Hi everyone, today we are going to start new chapter fuel and combustion. Fuels are naturally occurring or manufactured combustible organic substance which act as a source of energy or source of heat. It means in a very simple words we can say fuel is a source of energy. Any source of heat energy is called as fuel. The fuel includes all combustible substance that combine with oxygen from the atmosphere with the evolution of large amount of heat which can be used economically for domestic and industrial purpose. The term fuel may be defined as any fissionable chemical material or any reactant which gives energy in the form that can be used for the producing power. In other words, fuel is a combustible substance containing carbon as the main constituent. It also contains hydrogen, sulfur, but carbon is the main constituent which is capable of releasing large amount of heat or energy. Source of energy may be solid, liquid or gas and always contain carbon and usually hard carbon also. Combustion is an oxidation process which involves the atoms of carbon, hydrogen, etc. react with the oxygen. With the simultaneous liberation of heat, the energy is released during the process of combustion by the rearrangement of valence electron in these atoms and resulting the formation of carbon dioxide and H2O. These products have comparatively heat or energy content and less so. So, the energy or heat released during the combustion process is the difference in the energy of the reactant carbon, hydrogen and oxygen and that of the products H2O, carbon dioxide. We can also see in the reaction fuel, it means it contains carbon, hydrogen, sulfur. During the combustion, these atoms react with the oxygen and form product. Product may be carbon dioxide, H2O. Then there is a liberation of heat. This heat is used for the producing power. Then if you see the reaction, carbon react with oxygen and form carbon dioxide and there is a liberation of 97.644 kilocalorie. Same as if we take the example of hydrogen. Hydrogen means H2 plus O2 combines and form 2H2. Then calorie is 69.00 kilocalorie is released. Then the classification of fuel. The fuels are classified according to the occurrence. First is on the basis of the occurrence and state of aggregation. Primary and secondary. Primary or natural fuel, these are found in nature. Primary fuels are found in nature. As such, if we take the example solid fuel, wood, peat, coal, lignite. If we take the example of liquid fuel, crude oil, vegetable oil, then natural gas. If we discuss about the secondary or artificial or derived fuel, those which are derived from the primary fuel, example coke, charcoal, then liquid, tar, kerosene, diesel, petrol. Then if we take the example of gaseous fuel, coal gas, biogas, natural gas and LPG. Then calorific value. Calorific value of fuel is defined as the total quantity of heat liberated by the complete combustion of 1 unit mass or volume of the fuel. This calorific value is of two types, higher calorific value and lower calorific value. Another name of this higher calorific value is gross calorific value and net calorific value or lower calorific value. Then what are the units of heat? There are 4 units are used to express the calorific value. First is calorie. Calorie, it means what? It is defined as the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water through 1 degree centigrade. Then kilocalorie, it is defined as the total amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 kilogram of water through 1 degree centigrade. It means 1 kilocalorie equals to the 1000 calorie. Then British thermal unit, it may be defined as the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 pound of water through 1 degree centigrade. 1 British thermal unit, 1 British thermal unit equals to 252 calorie or 0.252 kilo calorie. It means 1 calorie one kilocalorie equals to 3.968 British thermal unit. Then centigrade heat unit, the calorific value of solid and liquid fuel is also expressed in centigrade heat unit. It can be defined as the quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 pound of water through 1 degree centigrade. One kilocalorie equals to 3.98 British thermal unit equals to 2.2 centigrade heat unit. Then the types of calorific value. First we will discuss higher calorific value. Hydrogen is found to be present in almost all fuel, and when the calorific value of hydrogen containing fuel is determined experimentally, the hydrogen is converted into steam. If the product of the combustion are condensed to the room temperature, the latent heat of condensation of steam also gets included in the measured heat, which is then called higher or gross calorific value. Then how we can define the higher calorific value? It's the total amount of heat produced when the unit mass or unit volume of fuel is completely burnt and the products of the combustion are cooled down to the room temperature. Then net calorific value. Net calorific value, it means in actual use of any fuel, the water vapors and moisture etc. are not condensed and escape as such along with the hot combustion gases, hence the lesser amount of heat is available. Then how we can define the lower calorific value? It is defined as the net heat produced when the unit mass or unit volume of the fuel is completely burnt and the product of the combustion are allowed to escape. So, the net calorific value is the gross calorific value minus latent heat of water vapor, which is form. First is the definition, then next step of this, higher calorific value minus mass of hydrogen into 9 into latent heat of steam. Latent heat of steam is fixed, that is 587 kilocalorie. Then mass of hydrogen, it means when 1 part by mass of hydrogen produces 9 part of the water by mass. So, net calorific value is HCV, it means at higher calorific value minus 0.09 into percentage of hydrogen which is present in fuel sample into latent heat of steam. Next is low moisture content. A fuel should have low content non-combustible matter which contains ash or clinkers. It means non-combustible matter is responsible for the clinkers. So, non-combustible matter should be of low, then moderate velocity of the combustion. It means velocity should be moderate or combustion rate should be easily controllable. Then products of combustion should not be harmful. If the product obtained during combustion of fuel should be harmless and non-polluting, example carbon dioxide, H2S, sulfur dioxide, CH4, then low cost should be low in the bulk, then it should be easy to transport, combustion should be easily controllable, should not undergo spontaneous combustion, storage cost should be low, should burn in air with efficiency without much smoke. In case of solid fuel, size should be uniform. Then comparison of solid liquid fuel. First we will see the advantages of solid fuel. It's easy to transport, it's convenient to store, cost of production is low, and ignition temperature is moderate. But some disadvantages also. There is a formation of ash content, and ash content is too much high. Thermal efficiency is very low. It burned with the clinker formation. It can't be controlled easily. Then cost of handling is very high and calorific value is very lower. If we see the liquid fuel, there are advantages over solid fuel. Calorific value is high, no dust or ash form, firing is easier and extinguished easily by stopping the supply. It's easy to transport, it can be stored identifiably. Then less excess air is required, less furnace is required, no wear and tear, then used in IC engine. But some disadvantages also. Its cost is very high, storage is expensive, then there is a great risk of the fire hazards.